Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Game On. I'm your host, Jerry Jacob. This is a new show produced by She Got Game Media, and it's all about success stories. Our guests are game changers, celebrities, as well as successful rising stars in business, music, and the arts. This is not your average talk show. On Game On, each guest is asked to share 5 winning strategies or ideas that have made and continue to make them successful. Hopefully, what they have to offer will inspire you and motivate you to elevate your brand and get your game on. We're excited today as my guest today is Anita Sax, an author of a unique series of children's books with extraordinary stories for children that educate, motivate, and ignite their imagination. Anita Sax, welcome to Game On.
Thank you so much for having me, Jerry. It's a real pleasure.
Great. Hey, again, we're going to discuss the success strategies as part of our show. But in advance of that, Anita, I wonder if you could tell us a little bit about your background and how you got started as a writer, specifically of children's books.
Well, I was born in Chicago, Illinois, and I was raised in Mexico City, Mexico. And through one of a school project that we had, which was writing, we had to write a short story. And I guess I was like in first or second grade, and I fell in love with writing, and I've been writing ever since.
Oh. Wow. Now, is it something where, how did you, get involved with specifically children's books?
Well, I have always written poems and short stories and things of that nature, and what really motivated me to go towards children was the fact that, you know, there's so many things that we need to learn as we grow up. And there's a lot of things in my childhood that, for example, I wish somebody would have motivated me or taught me or, you know, inspired me. And I decided to do that for children, to be able to inspire them and to motivate them. So all of my books either teach you something or motivate you in one way or another.
Well, again, I appreciate it. I did get a chance to read Oscar and the Zoo, and it was kind of interesting. Yes. It's one of the first times I've read something where, as you said, it's a children's book, but it really talks about health and fitness.
Yes. So yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, please.
No, what I just wanted to say, what I wanted to emphasize is that there's a lot of childhood obesity. You know, there's a growing epidemic of that, and I wanted to be able to reach out to children and parents, of course, because, you know, parents are usually the ones that read the books to the children in the beginning, and I wanted them to motivate them to be able to learn about healthy eating and exercise, and therefore, you know, it came to my mind that is something very important that we need to talk about and have, you know, educate people about, not only children but also obviously the parents and, you know, teachers and what have you, anybody that's involved with children, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that I find with my own kids is, and please, you know, I'd love you to contribute. How do parents inspire their kids to read, you know, versus all of the multimedia access that they have? So what have you seen from your experience?
Well, I just think that, like anything else, I guess when we were growing up, it was TV. You know, you can only have so much time with television, and just reading kids, you know, story time at night before they go to bed, when they want to purchase something, always be positive about buying a book as opposed to a toy or a new game for their computer, anything like that. Anything that you can get your child to read is very, very important. So those small things, whether it's a story at night or it's being in a library, taking them to a library where they have story time, things of that nature, activities that involve reading, I think it's very important. And it doesn't really matter, you know, what subject, if they enjoy it, if they want a book. I think it's very important to try to be able to either read it to them or buy it for them so that they get motivated to read. It's so important to read because, readers are leaders.
Yep.
So
yes,
I think it's very important to read.
I so agree, and any effort you make towards that is fantastic. So I appreciate, again, getting to know you a little bit. And as you know, our show is about success strategies. And you've had a success as a writer. And I wanted you to share your success strategies, words, and just go a little bit about them for our viewers to hopefully inspire them as you do your children.
Absolutely. I think it's important to be persistent. So you have to keep on going and not give up. You have to persist every day. Sometimes it's hard to motivate yourself, but you just got to keep doing. And even if you do a small thing to persist, to attain the goal that you are looking achieve, I think it's important to whatever it is, even if it's small, but you got to keep on going. Don't give up. Be persistent. The other thing I think also is to be instinctive. Go with your instinct. Go with your gut feeling. Many times we tend to go away from what we originally felt was our gut instinct to do, and then we realize that we should have gone with our instinct, right? That would have been a better way. That happens all the time. Another thing that I really think is important is to be creative and not to stay in, think outside of the box. So sometimes if you keep walking into the same wall over and over again, obviously it's not working. So you got to be creative, you got to go outside of the box, and you got to look for other ways of, doing things. That happens all the time as well. Another thing that I think is very important is to be knowledgeable, which again, it comes down to reading as well. Try to learn something new every day. It doesn't matter how small it is, and it can be something to do with what you're trying to achieve, maybe not, but you can never learn too much. There's never, knowledge is very, very important, and I stress that. I really, really stress that. And I think last but not least is to be authentic. Stay true to yourself, because if you're not true to yourself, who will be, right? So you have to be honest with yourself and be true to yourself. That's what I think are my 5 words, that keep me motivated.
Well, I appreciate it, and I'm sure listeners appreciate it, and thank you for, really being concise. To me, these words are kind of a life learning guide in terms of, how to, live your life successfully, etc. And I especially love the portion about being authentic. It's something that I personally strive to be as much as I can. So I really appreciate it. So for our listeners, I just wanted to kind of review Anita's words, which is persistent, instinctive, creative, knowledgeable, and authentic. So I really do appreciate it. And Anita, one of the things that we like to do here is, again, I wanted to just comment. I had the pleasure of reading one of your books, and Anita's books are an excellent series, really educational books for parents as well as school teachers in our school system. So I wanted to ask you, I know you have some upcoming events. How do people reach you? How do people get to know you? Please share with us, your website, et cetera, how you want people to reach you.
My website is anitasax.com. So that's ANITA, S as in Sam, A is Apple, X as X-ray.com, anitasax.com. You can also reach me on Facebook at Anita Sax Books. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Anita Sax Books. And also, just to let you know, on September 16th, I'm going to be at the Museum of Discovery and Science in Fort Lauderdale, where they're going to have this yearly event. They have a Kids Love and Family Expo, which is going to be very big, and I will be there exhibiting on September 16th. So I think you can go to their website. I believe it's kidsloveandfamilyexpo.com. It's, again, the Museum of Discovery and Science on September 16th in Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, great. Great. Yeah, actually it's one of the better interactive science museums. So again, I'm local to that area, and I hope to see you there. So,
me too. And it's going to be great fun. They're going to have a lot of activities for children and a lot of exhibitors, and so it's going to be a great event.
Great. Well, again, thank you, Anita Sax, for being a guest on Game On. And to all our listeners, thank you for tuning in to Game On with Jerry Jacob on Blog Talk Radio. You can listen to all interviews of Game On with Jerry Jacob on Facebook, Blog Talk Radio, and iTunes. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Jerry, for having me. It was a real pleasure.
Take care.
You too. Bye-bye.